But anyway,
Morning, Jeff.
good morning.
Tuesday.
How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
We'll have to bid it out.
This is from the National Association of
Next
Counties.
thing, see, we'll have to bid that out.
To have that done? Really?
It'll be high enough, we can only go 12,000.
Oh, it's gonna be, yeah.
If you guys can get the bid specs to me, I can get it publicized.
Okay.
So I don't have a clue how to write bid specs or something like that.
David Johnson.
I would,
Yes.
you
Because,
wanna cover, when if we write them for them, what they found. And because
Get it all down on paper and I'll get it.
Yeah,
publicized.
yep. I actually, just so you guys, because we talked about getting something sent to the other commissions. See what you think of that. Here you go, Rick. This for you too. I wanted to keep it short and sweet.
what's this? What's that?
They want to discuss the contaminants out there.
Oh, contaminants? Okay.
Where'd you find these guys at, Jim?
Huh?
Where'd you find these guys at?
That,
That's that one, yeah.
into the website. He sent me that link, I sent to you.
Uh-huh.
If you punch on that, it all comes
This
up.
all, okay.
That's how I found it, and then down there, I just got a computer, I just printed it off.
There you go.
Be a lot better.
So this is what Chase,
Huh?
is this what Chase sent us?
Chase?
Uh-huh. Is this what Chase, the link, is that what he? the
No,
link that
no,
he's-
this was the one that, the water company
Okay,
uses. That's, tech, cause it's Tech Lab. What really enticed me is in Kansas City.
Right.
Then it goes to Illinois,
Right.
and they check them, but I got into the website and they do everything.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how.
I mean, it's just simple.
Generic, yeah, and it's really just, hey, that's all we can do.
Well, that's kind of what I thought. If you don't know anything, it's hard to,
No.
That's gonna be the slowest coffee I've ever.
Huh? Well, it's not like the office types downstairs. And the other one downstairs, so you can, best thing if you're gonna make a pot of coffee.
I'll make all the coffee
Hey,
you want me to.
no, get that like I've ordered here, cause there's just so many ounces. And then you make a pot and you're done. And usually that's just like us, we have one pot.
Expert coffee maker now.
Huh? Let's see, tell them they can come in and sit down. You come on in and sit down.
I was waiting for, okay.
Oh.
He's using the restroom back there.
Oh,
so-
okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, Casey.
Come out looking for you.
We'll need to get you down, Casey, to discuss, we had appointment 9:30, discussing sewer project, and 10 o'clock the sheriff.
Okay.
Let's see. That's all we got today, 2 of them. I don't know what Mike Edges. I don't know how that will, Mike Edges on that sewer project. Think that'll take very long.
Wouldn't think
I
so.
wouldn't think it does, cause I think that just part of the things they have for, to set it up. And then, Aaron, I don't know what it is, oh, it's a core grant. It's just something signed, really. That's what it is. I use that sign.
How are they gonna,
Huh?
how are they gonna do those grants when Trump shut them all
I don't know. Now, I doubt if any of that shuts off with everything there because the core, that's, actually it's for security of the core ground. Now, if they don't do that, I don't know, but
off? Yeah.
that'll be a problem. That'll be a problem for us too,
Yeah.
not checking it. What do you need?
I was looking for the agenda. I had it right here in my hand.
Is there a particular time you want?
Well, that's why I was just looking. I don't think sheriff took very long. And Rick will be back in here and I'll see if I can move him a little bit and then we could see.
All right.
And was y'all wanting to speak today?
Well, questions.
Okay. Questions?
Flash stuff.
Oh, fine, okay. We can. We need to get their name and get, for the flash stuff. And then, I got Mike Edgett. He's here today. They want to speak or talk to us, discuss it, what they're after. Because of the testing, that's why he's wanting to try to, all of us come up with something.
Yeah, it'll probably, well, Mike is what, 9:30?
Yeah. I didn't think his would take very long. Well,
I don't think so.
let's just discuss that. And then we got
Aaron will be here.
Aaron. And that, and core grant, that's a signature deal. I know what it is.
Yeah.
So we'll take just a second. We could talk in between and,
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem.
Casey, would you mind, maybe we interrupt it a little bit when the sheriff comes, if I have to. But if we can, and we'll try to get, I don't think that my kids would be too long.
All right.
And then we can get into it.
Sure, however
Okay.
you'd like to proceed, work for us.
Okay, all right. Then we'll try to make all of that work. Okay. We don't have Jake here today. He's having surgery. Let's
Do you get your pictures?
see. I better go through. I wish you had sent me that darn minutes, Rick. If you'd have sent that to me, it'd been a lot nicer.
It's been pretty crazy down there.
Huh? Had to go case it this morning, got them file done. Actually, have 3 pages.
Well, the other one's 3 pages.
Huh?
The other one's 3 or 4 pages.
Oh, this is a minutes. And this is long. Okay. Very good. And let's see here.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what, agenda's Dan making 2 corrections on the agenda. We need him. Okay. Then agenda stand approved as presented, and we'll go ahead and open up the meeting.
All right, Henry County Commission, Henry County, Missouri, Monday, January 27th, 2025, the 7th day of the January term. Were present at 6:30 p.m. Commissioner Stone brought the meeting to order. Commissioner Stone introduced County Clerk Rick Watson, South District Commissioner Jake Bradley, North District Commissioner Mark Larson, Congressman Mark Alford, State Representative Jim Caberlo, representatives from Evergy, Chuck Casely, John Bridson, Jared Morrison, and MDNR Representative Mike Carroll. Commissioner Bradley led a short prayer. Chuck Craisley opened the discussion. He gave a brief history of the Montrose Power Plant facility. He shared that he was made aware of a lawsuit at the end of the Tuesday County Commission meeting last Wednesday. He shared that Evergy takes safety allegations seriously. Chuck continued by sharing that Evergy conducts ongoing testing at their facilities as they are a very regulated utility. He thanked the Commission for organizing this meeting so quickly. Chuck shared that a call was made to the DNR and an inspection team was sent out Friday. He shared that notice was also sent to all the regulators. Chuck shared that Evergy has 3 goals. 1, determine and understand if there's a problem with their location in the county. They also want to know more information on the test that was conducted. They also want to do additional testing to better understand what the risk is to the county. 2, if elevated numbers are found, they want to better understand what is causing the elevated numbers. He stated that they have years of test results which prove that they met all the federal test guidelines. He shared that one of the contaminants found in the triangle test had high levels of hexavalent chromium. He shared that the area was heavily mined in the past. They want to find out what has caused the results. He stated that he is not ruling out fly ash as a sole contributor to the presence of the contaminants. And 3, Evergy wants to be a part of the solution. Chuck stated that the lawsuit does not name Evergy property as the source of contaminants in the testing. Chuck explained the process of transporting fly ash from its Hawthorne power plant to the county. He stated that pneumatic, completely sealed trucks were used to transport the fly ash, causing no dust during transportation. Once at the property, it gets mixed with water at the time of delivery, then it dries out. Water is spread on the ground and work area to mitigate against dust before it goes into the landfill. Topsoil and clay are spread on top of the fly ash after it is dry. Chuck stated that dust is created when topsoil is added to the pile. The ash is hardened like cement after it dries and does not turn into dust. Chuck shared that testing is done prior to discharging water from the ponds into Montrose Lake, as procedures are tested at numerous stages to comply with federal regulations. Chuck shared that Evergy understands the responsibility to be transparent in the process of drying out the fly ash and getting it buried. He continued by stating that Evergy has been in the county for 7 decades, and they want to see the former facility successful as they are part of the community, as well as still having many employees in the area. Chuck reiterated their 3 goals: validate the test and fully understand the results, continue testing, and be a part of the solution. Mark Carroll addressed the attendees. He shared that he represents the Kansas City regional area. He shared that he has the information from the lawsuit. He stated that DNR met with Evergy at the Davis School location on Saturday and took samples. He stated they are committed to determine what the results of the tests are from. Commissioner Larson provided pictures of what appeared to be fly ash on a county road during a delivery. Chuck stated that it could be many things other than fly ash. Chuck answered various questions from Larson, including the fact that Evergy is not selling the fly ash, and stated that it will stay at the location. He confirmed that it does not get sold to the incoming solar company. Commissioner Larson provided another picture showing dust in the air near the large pile of fly ash. Chuck stated that the dust could be from a gravel road, as the fly ash is solid at that point in the process. He also stated that it could be dirt that is getting moved onto the pile. Commissioner Lawson asked Mike from DNR how many samples were taken from the Davis School District. Mike shared that there were 5 samples taken, but test results had not been received yet. It was also determined that test samples were not taken from the roof of the school. It was stated that groundwater is tested semi-annually. Commissioner Larson stated that was not enough. Chuck explained that tanker trucks spread water that comes out of Montrose Lake. Commissioner Larson gave another photo showing what appeared to be sediment or dust settling on the lake. He then stated that Evergy needs to figure out a better way to control the fly ash dust. Commissioner Larson stated that tests separated by month, August and September, should show similar results, but these have tested worse. He stated that it wouldn't test. Let me start over again. He stated that
You wouldn't trust results from Evergy.
he wouldn't trust results from Evergy or the DNR. It was insisted that an independent third-party testing facility perform tests in the area. Chuck stated that Evergy would be willing to fund the testing on a mutually agreed-upon testing company. He stated that they want to work with the county to find a solution. Evergy stated that they did not transport fly ash over the weekends. Congressman Mark Alford addressed the group. He shared that he and the commissioners toured the site. He read results from the Triangle Environmental Science and Engineering Incorporated, which found hexavalent chromium in 15 soil samples. Drinking water samples exceeded radium-226 and total radium. Soil samples exceed arsenic, selenium, and cobalt, as well as 4 samples exceed boron levels. Alford stated that there is a definite problem and glad there is a joint effort to get additional testing done. He thanked Evergy representatives for attending this meeting and thanked the commissioners for organizing it. The congressman shared that this is one of the most important meetings that he has attended due to the impact that these contaminants can have. State Representative Jim Caballo shared that he was here to learn about the situation. He shared that he was able to meet with Evergy officials at the Capitol. He thanked them for their attendance. He stated that he likes the idea of independent testing getting done. He also shared his disdain with DNR. He continued by stating that he was in attendance to learn more about the situation. He stated that he hoped to hear answers that were not detrimental. The following individuals addressed Evergy, DNR, and/or the elected official panel: Scott Mosley, Roger Bancroft, Chase Larson, Jeff Rogers, Robbie Lesmeister, Steve Schrammel, Randy Curtis, Shelley Zimmerman, Vicki Westhuizing, Mike Rozier, Cynthia Smith, Richard Shields, and Sam Alexander. Evergy answered the following questions. Results of past testing can be found on the website. Pond pumping tests have never failed or exceeded federal guidelines. Water districts test and pull water out of Truman Lake, which has never failed guidelines. Fly ash hardens to a cement-type product. which would break similar to cement. The Hawthorne facility is full and cannot accept additional fly ash. The Montrose location proved to be the safest to contain the transported ash. Evergy has never had a sample test fail. All testing reports are reported to DNR. Evergy does not test downstream of Deepwater Creek. Signs on Montrose Lake limiting the consumption of fish have been on site for decades. A synthetic membrane is used at the site to contain the fly ash. Evergy stated again that they have never had a test fail. Averages and trends are monitored and would be addressed, but they've never had a test that failed. They do have plans in place to process heavy metals should they occur. Evergy shared there's not a reason to not be prudent in their testing. They are not going to do anything illegal. They are committed to fix the problem as they are part of the community. Evergy stated that they are not able to stop transfers from the Hawthorne facilities as they serve 1.7 million customers. This is the only location that they have to transfer the fly ash as they must continue to operate. Chuck shared that he lives near the I-10 power plant and is not worried of any environmental concerns. Evergy is committed to verify testing that was done at the Davis School. Evergy denied that they have ever had to pay fines to the Environmental Protection Agency. There are 15 to 20 deliveries of fly ash at 20 tons each sent to the Montrose property up to 5 days a week. Evergy is unaware why Power Ranger claimed that their property was contaminated. Evergy stated that fly ash from the Montrose power plant was buried at that facility. The use of local coal was discontinued due to high concentrations of sulfur. The fly ash from that high sulfur coal was buried at the site at that time frame. Evergy can reconfirm that the fly ash at the Montrose site will not be moved or sold. It is there to stay. They will look for another location when the property is deemed full. Evergy is looking into using more natural gas and small reactors to reduce their fly ash inventory. Evergy shared of tannery in northern Missouri that was selling hexavalent chromium, a byproduct of the tannery operation. It was being sold to farmers all over the state. The law firm that represented the tannery operation is, let's see. The law firm that represented the plaintiffs against the tannery at the same time suing is the same firm suing Evergy now. Evergy stated that it important to determine the source of the contamination come from tests. Evergy will mitigate the contaminants if Evergy is responsible. Evergy commented they want to investigate the entire problem so they can react. Evergy stated that they plan on attending any future meetings. Evergy stated that mitigation or cleanups, if determined, would depend on what is found. Evergy stated they believe water districts did heavy testing every 3 years. Evergy stated that there has been confirmations of mesothelioma cases from the Montrose power plant. Disassembly of the plant was done within the government standards. Congressman Alford shared that the Trump administration is committed to uncover New Green Deal money. Congressman Alford shared that his office was unaware of these tests from November until this past Saturday. His office staff has reached out to the EPA. Mike Carroll stated that samples from the Davis School were taken from 5 of 7 locations used by Triangle. He stated that he will follow with field agents to complete the sample the other 2 locations. Commissioner Lawson thanked Congressman Alford for reacting quickly and commented that the DNR did not. Commissioner Stone stated that he had visited with the Henry County Water Company in Clinton and was told that the water is safe from tests that they have done. Commissioner Larson shared that Triangle is used by Bill Stewart because there are not many companies able to do these type of tests. At 8:51, Commissioner Stone adjourned the meeting. Whew, that was a long one.
Hey, Rick, I have a question. In there you mentioned the membrane that was used underneath the flash, but it didn't mention the clay basin.
There's probably a lot of things that didn't get put in here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you want me to go, you want to approve that one or you want to do the next one?
Let's go ahead and approve this one.
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve it.
Motion been made, I'll second it, to approve minutes as presented with a couple corrections.
What corrections?
Do you want to make the 2? One, the membrane,
It's up to you
got
guys.
the clay,
Yeah, I'd make
stick it
it.
in there, that way we'd have it. Because the clay is a part.
Okay,
Okay.
find that.
That being said, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
All right. Henry County Commission, Henry County, Missouri, Tuesday, January 28th, 2025, the 8th day of the January term. All were present. At 9:02, Commissioner Stone brought the meeting to order. The agenda was approved as presented. The minutes from the Thursday, January 23rd, 2025 meeting were read. Commissioner Larson made a motion to approve the minutes, and Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried. Expenditures for the following were approved to be paid: employee benefits, buildings and grounds, general county government, assessor, sheriff, road and bridge, court administration, recorder of deeds, 27th Circuit Treatment Court, and inmate security. The commission re-signed signature cards for Equity Bank as the address was incorrect in the previous document. Bruce Dewsbury, Local Emergency Planning Commission, requested to be included on test results and information on progress related to the fly ash in Davis Township. The commission signed an engagement letter with Mueller, Okerfell, and Jones, formerly Daniel Jones and Associates, to conduct the county's 2023 and 2024 audit. The commission signed a letter of support for Brightspeed's effort to receive a grant to expand broadband services into the rural areas of the county. The commission signed a membership agreement with the Missouri Affiliated Governments Insurance Consortium for the county county employees insurance. The group discussed the meeting held at the Benson Center yesterday evening with Evergy and the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. Jonathan Ketz with Fox 4 of Kansas City called for an interview. It was explained that companies are being sought that can do the testing for heavy metals and contaminants. The commission shared that they are committed to getting tests done so they can determine how to proceed. The commission continued to discuss testing and sending out RFQs to reputable testing companies. Also discussed was contacting an attorney to assist with potential litigation. The group also discussed contacting state agencies to assist with providing drinking water for residents. Commissioner Stone explained issues that water supply districts have had with pipes getting corroded quickly in that area, especially where Peabody mined coal. Commissioner Larson discussed the need for public water supply districts to conduct testings for heavy metals in their drinking water. Commissioner Stone shared that Public Water Supply District Number 3 has already reacted to the local situation and have plans in place to do testing. He also shared the qualifications that supervisors of public water supply districts must have. Commissioner Larson stated that neighboring county commissioners need to be notified and informed of the contamination issues of the county. The group discussed the Davis School District having to relocate to a church in Clinton until further testing can be done and they determine it's safe to return to their school. Ju Yan Kim from NBC 41 News of Kansas City attended the meeting for an interview. She asked which test would be determined to be conclusive between Evergy, Triangle, or the company selected by the commission. The group discussed that Evergy and the county will share the cost of tests. Dennis Bowers, Road and Bridge Supervisor, attended the meeting to share that he has notified the northern townships to get their bridges swept off before the state inspection next week. He also shared that he is going to place an estimated $35,000 pipe order, some oblique pipes to be used to replace a bridge. The group discussed metal pipe that had been buried in Mount Rose Lake area. Dennis confirmed that pipes deteriorate in a few years in that area. He also shared of a similar situation in the north part of the county that was not in a mined area. The group discussed the width of easement on Northwest 1401 Road in Bogart Township near the Red Fox Winery. It was determined that the width was 40 foot. Kim Olmstead called with questions regarding the senior tax freeze ordinance. Bruce Dewsbury was asked to answer her questions as he conducted a meeting in the past with seniors over the topic. Bruce shared that the commission has not adopted an ordinance as there are still questions whether they have the authority to freeze taxes of other entities. The commissioners assured Ms. Olmstead that they are still researching the ability to freeze the taxes. The group had discussion regarding the tax freeze and different interpretations from various counties, especially the authority the commission has to freeze other entities' taxes. There was a lot of discussion regarding economic development, property taxes, budgets, and levies. Commissioner Larson led discussion on the former Holiday Inn property in Clinton as detriment to the economic development and needs to be cleaned up. The group discussed the responsibility of the city of Clinton. Mark Harden, Emergency Management Director, shared that he is working on getting IT updated in the EM office of the courthouse, also working with Everbridge for Mass Emergency Communication Service. At 11:19, they finally adjourned. Motion made by Bradley, Larson seconded, and motion carried.
Make a motion to approve it.
Motion been made, and I'll second it to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Got it done. I'm sorry.
Marcus Tuckman is the county health insurance bill that we pay by ACH, so that's why it's not a check. It goes electronically.
Yeah, you did that. Well, that other used
Yeah,
car.
I gotta find that out. Tell you what, if you want to stamp the top,
Because the
I'll
top
get it
one, it
corrected.
wasn't on your top.
I'll get it corrected.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, okay. And we got a bunch of it. I got just a few checks there.
It's not horrible.
Okay. Be with y'all, Chris. Okay. Get opened up here.
The number of checks aren't horrible, but the amount on the checks is horrible.
Yeah.
Some healthy ones here. Should I give you everything, Jim?
Yeah. Yes.
Guys, to confirm, it is the membrane, a synthetic membrane and clay,
Hey, oh,
or
Yeah, I think the point was that the retention ponds are clay and that there's synthetic under portion of the lane. I think that was the point.
that goes. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, Mike, let's
Alright.
go ahead and get yours.
Okay. Are you Commissioner Bradley or Commissioner Larson?
Larson.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
My
you.
name's Mike Edgett, I'm a local attorney. I know this fellow.
And Jake, he had surgery
He's
today,
had
so he's
surgery.
out of commission today.
Well,
He had a shoulder.
you've excused him for that? Very generous of you. I'm here on behalf of the residents of the Stone Ridge subdivisions.
Thank you.
These subdivisions are located at the intersection of Booth Road and Urick Road. Booth Road there is the west city limits of the city of Clinton. So these subdivisions are not in the city, but they lay right up against the city limits. We have some of the subdivision homeowners with us today: Mark and Gay Smith, Ken and Marla Jones, Daniel Wilson, any other.
Expecting some more, but.
There are some others who thought they might be able to make it, but so far, maybe they'll come in. I sent this letter on the 14th of January, and I don't know if you've had a chance to see it or not.
Yes.
Thank you.
When the subdivisions were developed, they were developed with a private sewer system. The system works like this: each home, each residence has a septic tank. Then they have a pump, and so all the solids are collected on site. So the sewage is partly treated there at the homeowner's site. The liquid that comes out of the septic tank is pumped to a sand filter system. The sand filter system is the sand filter system is out of date, it's obsolete, it doesn't work anymore. The Department of Natural Resources has informed the subdivision that they have to do something. And they've been tolerant so far, but we've had to monitor the system, make sure that nothing rises to the surface, runs away, gets into any waterways and so forth. The city of Clinton has agreed, they've been very kind actually, has agreed to allow the subdivision to connect to the city sewer system. This is a bit of an ordeal because they lay outside of the subdivisions, lay outside the city limits, but the city has a sewer there that's within reasonable proximity of the subdivision, so the lines can be extended to the city sewer system. In order to do this, and the city's obtained a grant to design this, and once the design is finished and approved by the Department of Natural Resources, there are funds available to build this connection. Of course, the subdivision will be paying, the fees required to dump their sewage into the city system. But it's a great advantage to the homeowners in these subdivisions because it's a permanent solution. If they had to rebuild a private system there that's acceptable to the DNR, it'd be very expensive, and someday they'd be facing the same thing that they are now. It's not gonna last forever. So this is a great benefit to the residents of the subdivision. The city feels it's important and has directed us to form a common sewer district, they want an entity there that they can deal with, an entity to sign contracts, enter into these arrangements with the city. There will be a written agreement between the city and the subdivisions. That's already been drafted, but we may need to change the parties there if we get the common sewer district organized. In order to form a common sewer district, the county has to file a petition. The homeowners can't do it. We would if we could, but the statute specifically says it's up to the county. So we're here asking you to do this. You're gonna wanna know what will the burden be on the county. The homeowners will pay all of the fees related to this. They'll pay the court costs. They'll pay attorney fees. If the county allows it, I will represent the county in this matter. And I'd be glad to draft a contract which would say this, that there will be no expense to the county to create this common sewer district. Your duties would be this. After the petition is filed, the court has to appoint 3 commissioners, not you all, not your kind of commissioners,
to their board.
the commissioners who will outline the footprint of the common sewer district. It's going to be particularly easy to do in this case because this has all been platted, and it'll just be the outline of the subdivisions. Plus, there's one house that's not in the subdivision, owned by Bestie DeVasher, that is on the sewer system, so that will be part of the common sewer district. There has to be a public meeting, which we will take care of, where the commissioners meet with anybody within the proposed sewer district who's interested in the boundaries. And by the way, it's our belief that 100% of the people who live out here are in favor of this. So if anyone has any comment about the boundaries, there will be a public meeting about that. Once the map is established, the map will be presented to the court, to the judge, the circuit court judge, and then there'll have to be an election, and all the people in the common sewer district, the proposed boundaries, will have to vote on this. I talked to Mr. Watson about that, and he thought it would be, a pretty easy thing to do. So if it's approved by the voters, then we go back to the judge and he enters a decree establishing the common sewer district. At that point, there's something the commission will have to do. You have to appoint the first 5 trustees. We can come up with the names.
Yeah.
The commissioners who draw the boundaries on the map have to be disinterested. They can't be from the subdivisions. But these people who will sit on the board of the common sewer district can be residents of the neighborhood, and we have plenty of people who will be willing to serve. Frequently, common sewer districts are formed to raise money, to issue bonds, to build systems. There won't be any of that here. We have our system in place. It's just a matter of raising enough money from the homeowners to pay the city to accept our sewage and treat our sewage. So that's what we're asking you to do. I did draft a petition. I provided a copy of it with the letter that I sent on January 14th. If you all approve this, pardon me, if you all approve this, I'll prepare a contract which will say just what I said, that the county will enter into the agreement for us to file this petition, and that the Stone Ridge subdivision homeowners will pay all of the expenses related thereto. And if it's all right with you all, I'll act as the attorney for the subdivision. And if not, then we'll have to get an attorney the commission chooses, because it's your case. But we've preferred that, since I'm familiar with this, that I proceed with the matter, and I think I can probably do it on a budget that will be better for the homeowners. So that's our proposal. You have any questions about what we're trying to do?
Mark?
No, not at all.
No, I kind of understand most of it there. I think it is. Where will they connect the sewer? Do you know?
Well, I don't know exactly,
I was
but
curious.
I know the city has a sewer line over
Is
here
that a main
somewhere.
line over
Yeah,
there?
over in here.
Scott's?
So it won't be, they don't have to go too far.
Okay.
There'll be a meter And depending on how many
Yes.
times we flush the toilet,
He checks it.
that'll depend
You don't
on.
go by water usage and,
No, we're gonna measure the sewage as it goes into the city system. Well, that's okay.
There are actually two houses not in the subdivision.
two,
There's two, the Devashers and the Stanleys. Those two are not in the subdivision.
Okay, we have
But
to
they
talk
are on
about
our
that.
system.
oh,
Okay. We have to talk about the Stanleys. Steve Bradley is also a resident. Are you all residents
Yes.
there? What are your names?
David and Ashlyn Newman.
David Ashland Newman, also a resident.
Sherry Stanley.
Hi, Sherry. You're on the system.
Yes.
Okay.
okay.
Brady Brown.
Dale and Priscilla Asmussen.
Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you.
Okay,
Anyway, I
any questions?
I
I
don't see
think it's a good
anything.
idea.
I can be fine.
Thank you.
That's it, Jack.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank y'all for coming. How you doing, Dan? Huh?
We all vote on this?
We'll have to vote. Do we need to vote on right now or wait till we get the contract?
Well, I think you're just
Do-
voting to,
To proceed.
Do we, yeah, do we can
and
do
then you'll
that.
sign the contract after it's.
Okay. I send the
Do I
contract to
hear a
Mr.
motion?
I'll
Wells.
make a motion.
Motion been made to proceed. I'll second that. All in favor? Voice roll call. Mark?
Yes.
Jim? Yes. Motion carried.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'll just give you, you want me to just give you all mine? I did because I'll get another, and I was curious where they hooked up, that's all.
I carried those couple chairs in here. I wouldn't use them.
Since you got them, you're gonna use them.
Oh, no, I ain't been.
Okay.
Here is
Sure,
the corrected page.
Oh.
Let me, it's the second page. I'll just tear that second page out of there.
Okay.
Just the first page.
You still do?
Is that the one?
Yeah, no, the second page is what we corrected.
I need to stamp this one, don't I?
No.
This second page of that.
That's my card.
Third page. Third page. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of do the
Oh, got a chair.
Yeah, these chairs are a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. In about 3 or 4 minutes. I'll just wait.
Okay, should we go ahead and,
And the sheriff will be here at 10.
huh?
Sheriff will be here at
This afternoon
10.
you'll be around.
Yeah, we got,
Shoot me a text or something.
20 minutes. We can go ahead and start. Because if it's all right with you, Chuck, we can start.
Yeah,
We can get into that.
I don't imagine it'll take too long,
Okay.
but, you know, we're here at your disposal.
Okay. Well, we've been talking, we haven't got with Jake, but looking at different companies. There was one company that the water company uses, and they do more than just water, soil, and everything. Where's that? I get it.
You want to look at it?
Sure.
That's one that we've found, and I haven't talked to them or done anything. I was just reaching out because I didn't know finding companies that do all of it's a little hard to find.
Well, that's kind of what, I guess what we wanted to say is a couple things. One, we think there should be more testing. I appreciated the dialogue with you the other evening. You know, if it's our tests, people are gonna view that skeptically. If it's the plaintiff's attorneys and their experts, we're gonna view that a little skeptically.
Exactly.
And I think some folks also had some concerns about MD&R.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be testing, lots of testing done.
Yes.
But, you know, I agree with you. I think it's important that the county have a source of testing that they feel that they have, you know, control over, that they can interact with and administer. And we agree with that. We you know, wholeheartedly want to see that. And so just a couple things. One, it is hard to find folks to do all the testing. So if you want to talk to anybody from us, or, I mean, the attorneys or MDNR, we're happy to make recommendations of folks that are out there that do it. We don't want to get in the middle of it, though, because we want the relationship to be yours. We want, them to answer to you so that everybody understands how that goes. We do, however, understand that, I mean, this isn't a huge county, and budgets are never anything but tight. Budgets are never anything but tight these days, and so, we are willing to contribute towards this or pay for it in whatever manner you guys would like us to do. Whether it's paying the county and then you guys turn around and do that, that's probably the easiest way.
That's
to
probably,
do it.
actually probably the best way.
Yeah.
That way, what my biggest concern is, we've taken everything and got it as transparent as we can.
Yep.
And I want to keep it that way
So do
for
we.
all the people. So in my mind, we've got 2 or 3 different, besides this one, there's 2 or 3 different ones that we've found. And we'll have to discuss actually who we're going to use and figure out and make sure that each one of them, I'm pretty sure they can probably all do this type, because this is a specialized testing. But for me, and I think I've told Jim, I would prefer for us to find out what this is going to cost.
Yep.
That, I mean, well, we definitely have, because you hit the nail on the head. We're not a big county. We don't have a whole lot of money.
Yep.
And I know Jim does, and I do, and Jake appreciates the fact that if you're willing to pay for it, pay for part of it, however, that's going to help us tremendously. But either way, we're going to have to get it done. And in saying that, I would prefer that once we know how much it is, that actually you guys write a check to the county.
Yep.
That way you're not involved, other than
Absolutely.
being really generous and paying. I mean, but when you guys if your name is attached to it, everybody out
If we
here is
write a
gonna
check
think-
to them, nobody's gonna believe that it's achieved
No.
the purpose that you
Right.
wanted.
That's probably
Right.
it.
And the
Exactly.
whole purpose of doing it is to make sure
Yeah.
that the county has results to them. So you invoice us from the county, we'll pay to you. I guess just a couple things to consider. One, I think we'd like to get going as quickly as
yes,
possible.
yes.
The second is that, there's the collection of samples, there's the lab work and analysis that has to be done. And then, we don't want to overstep our position here, but we also think you ought to look at somebody to analyze those results and talk about what they mean, and give you an opinion on, an indication of what they mean. And that can sometimes be 2 or 3 different entities. So it's important to get the samples, it's important to get it tested, but it's important to get the analysis as to what it what it means. And then the only other thing that we would ask is really 2 parts. We're going to be doing our own testing, and we're going to coordinate with different entities as we do that. So if you find somebody who wants testing and wants it quicker rather than, as you guys go through your process, we're willing to do that. We're also going to be working with the water authorities and some of the other folks around here to understand what they're thinking about doing, and we'll probably augment that. So if there's a need you're aware of, please let us know, and we're willing to talk to folks. The other thing is, once you select your firm to go take the samples, we would like to come out at the same time and sample in that area. Don't want to get in the way of it.
Right,
Don't want
right.
to have anything to do with, but we want to take our own samples, same time, same place, so we can run a redundant set of analysis just to see what it says. Don't see how that could hurt anything.
I think it's a good idea.
so-
You're
Well, I
getting it.
understand, especially water, you want to do it all at the same time, because to get a halfway, to make sure both of them are close.
Yep.
That's what research I've done, mostly water, and the big thing is, to do this type of testing, we're gonna have to get people, and for us, we'll have to bid it out. That's
Yeah.
gonna be our slowest project. We can't just decide on somebody and go. We gotta get 2 or 3 and try to send them, and if they'll send us a quote, then we're in good shape.
All right.
Even if we don't, it'll still be all right if we send a
Well,
RFQ out.
we've covered the two things that we were most concerned about, which is we didn't want to be in a position where we were interacting directly with whoever you get. We think that should be the county, and we prefer to pay you all.
Yeah,
And then the second thing is just that once we get the timing of this put down, you know,
Okay.
we'd
Appreciate it.
like to go out as well. And then maybe the third thing is just make sure you get somebody who can analyze the results and not
Right.
just give you readings.
okay,
Because it's really important to understand what the levels mean, what the right standards are, and then if there are issues, what the mitigation,
Yeah.
possibilities are. You can get somebody who will help you walk through all that as well.
now, somebody needs to explain all of them to us. I'm not a chemist and know what's good or bad, but that's some of the things we gotta do.
No,
Right.
I had my home hit by a flood a couple years back, so I'm gonna tell you what the insurance man told me once they decided they're gonna pay the claim. There may be an initial time where you want to get something done, and then there may be some cost downstream, a little bit later. So you don't have to think about, waiting all in one stop to invoice us. If, we'll do this as it goes along, and as you have a need, just let us know. And
We appreciate that.
Okay, we thank you
Yeah,
very much.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I actually appreciate you guys coming in and talking
Yeah.
again with us. I mean,
I'm
seriously.
tickled y'all came in as fast as you did.
Well,
Number two, if we work together, maybe we can get something. I think everybody's we need to figure out what it is, what's going on.
as I said the other night, we understand this is a very emotional, upsetting issue for folks that live down here. There's a lot of information flowing around on the internet and a lot of different conversations going on. Our desire is to validate tests, understand what it means,
Yeah.
and if it ends up we're part of, all of an issue, we want to get it mitigated. We want to understand what's going on, because as I said last night or 2 nights ago, we got folks that literally have Deepwater Creek run through their property. So we live and work here. So
Okay.
Yeah, sounds
Thank
good.
you.
anything else for us?
I don't, we'll see what we can kind of come up with, and
Okay.
do we want to have them send anybody that they know of that does
Well,
testing?
you got my.
I guess now that
Say that one more.
different area, different companies that they may know.
Yeah,
Send it.
well, I know the 3 that we have,
Okay.
I've somewhat kind of done a little bit of research with it,
Okay,
but we need to,
okay,
well, since we've got to take bids on it anyway,
yeah.
we could send it to 3, 4, 5, whatever,
Yeah,
and see what
that's
we
what
come out with.
my thinking is to get some idea. And number 2 is getting somebody to explain everything.
Right.
That's gonna be probably the
We
biggest
can,
thing.
we can actually tell them that when we contact,
Yeah.
we can write out everything that we need, send them an
RFQ,
email.
we
and
have
let
to have
them
them
know.
come in and tell us what it all means. That's the
Yeah,
main thing.
and again, my colleague Jared here just mentioned something, which is if you'd like any assistance at all in crafting the RFP and things you ought to put in there, we're happy to help. What we don't want to do is overstep, and we don't want anybody to think that this is our deal. But if you need something or you have a question,
I think it'd be good if they could give us some pointers on what we really need to focus on. I know the soil, all the heavy metals, the water can be easily, we can find that out, but the RFQ, what all we need to do, I think it'd be great if we can have something like that.
well,
So,
just let us know.
Okay.
I know you got my phone number and my cell, and I think you got my emails as well. So just let me know,
Okay,
and
Chuck.
we'll be responsive.
Sounds great.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming in.
Appreciate
Thank you.
With your copies?
Jim, do we need?
I
Yeah,
don't actually.
I tell you what,
Let
I
me-
can send you
let me
a
just
link.
write it out here real quick for you.
You've looked
We
at
can
it.
get the names from you some other time, I just didn't want to take your copy.
Appreciate it. Sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Think any of this would fall under an emergency procurement?
That's actually,
I think it would. Yeah, I did.
and you actually, that's right up your alley.
Yep.
Sir,
Appreciate
it would be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sit down and visit with
Okay.
Bill?
We're ready, Mayor. Get caught up with the minutes here.
All right, go ahead.
Did you turn off the?
I did. It is that.
So, this is for the Corps of Engineers.
Yep.
So long story short, I just needed you guys' approval for me to sign it, because my name is listed on the, what is that called? Took us 2 months to switch this over.
Yeah,
Ken.
Sims.
Sims.
Sims,
Yes.
Sims. Yeah.
My name's on the SAMs of it. I just didn't want to sign a contract without your guys' approval. So this is the Corps contract that we do every year. And just a little bit from last year, our contract amount was $48,297. And the 2025, this coming year, is $50,712. And then we have 2-year extensions on there. So the 2026 extension is $53,248. And then the 2027 year is $55,910.
That's right.
So we opted just to do like a 5-year increment every year. So they've been gracious enough to do, instead of just the 1 year, they give us 3 years. So
Okay.
that's what this is about, just to get you guys' approval to sign it. So
Yep.
any questions?
Nope, I don't have a bit of problem with
Okay.
it. There, your motion, go ahead.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that. Motion been made and seconded. All in favor, say, or voice roll call. Mark?
Yes.
Jim, yes. Motion carried. Okay, there you go.
All right, this one, did you brief them on this at all?
What?
No,
DSSF?
I haven't had a chance.
Okay. This is a weird, this is a lengthy conversation, but I'll try to summarize this really fast. This is the deputy supplemental fund through the state. It's a grant. Long story short, this is through post, through a grant, and then it's funded by
Fees, court fees.
court fees, and then there's civil process fees that go into this statewide. And the goal of this, for many years, is to get deputies pay up. So we currently start out at $19 an hour. So this bumps that up just a little bit across the state. So every paycheck, each deputy gets $64.41 per paycheck. And this has been going on for several years. Where we come today, when Kent did this grant last year, there was 18 slots on it that were budgeted for, so that's 18 deputies. Obviously, we're very blessed to be full staffed, which we're working through the waters on being full staffed. Part of that, being full staffed on the road, and we have an additional 3 or 4 post-certified staff in the jail, which is usually unheard of too. So, and they want to stay in the jail. So we can't reapply for this until July. It's a different budgeting cycle. Different budgeting cycle than ours. So the question today, we have 4 staff members. I printed off another one. I guess I forgot to bring that. We have 4 additional staff members that aren't budgeted for. Ooh, I did. So the original 18 are on that top line, and then 19 through 23 are the additionals. So you can see the project period for this grant is 7/1/24, and then it ends this year, 6/30/25. Approximately, doing the math on this, there's 13 additional pay periods left to get us through 6/30. So the current dilemma that we have are the first 18 that you have on the top are currently getting deputy supplemental. The bottom 4 or 5 are not. So what brings us today is that these are not allotted for in the grant line item on our budgeting. So where we stand on it, and we're just trying to be fair across the board. I say Ian because he's the last one on number 18. Ian is a new deputy and he's getting the $64, but Billy is a new deputy and he's not. So they're both doing the same jobs. One deputy's getting more pay, the other one's not. So our question today is it possible for us to just pay out these positions as the same rate as the deputy supplemental out of our funds instead of the grant? Is that pretty plausible?
How's your budget?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, this is
Yeah.
where this is a muddy water. If it was out of the budget, this would not be a problem.
No, I mean,
But the
can we
deputy,
make it work in the budget to transfer, do something there to get that?
It's so early in the
I
year,
guess-
it's so hard to say.
I know it. That's the problem there. That's why I'm asking.
So it's $64 a pay period times 4 people for 13 weeks. Is that what it amounts to?
4,000,
5?
4,186. Is that what the sum over here
yeah,
is?
that's what that
Yeah.
bottom 4,000.
4186.65.
And that would get us to June.
That gets to June anyway.
And then in June, when we do the new budget, these will all be accounted for, so you can't count in advance. So even if Kent would have put these on there, it wouldn't have been approved by the government or the state. You
Because
can't
that's
do
all,
it.
the problem is it's June deal and
Yes.
can't help it, we've had to deal with it quite a while.
Amy was
Right.
kind of explaining it to me that, say you had one of the 18 that had retired, resigned, quit, what have you, and a new person was coming in, you couldn't fill the former spot with a new person to receive the grant. Is that true?
Correct, yeah. Yeah, so number.
So it's
You
by
can't-
person named in the
Yeah.
grant at the time of application that
That's
are
exactly
only
it.
privy to the
And
grant.
then we only get reimbursed, there's a lot of rules to this, so you only get reimbursed for the money that you've already paid out and that they're already budgeted for, the people.
See, that's what,
It's really,
Mhm.
I mean, I understand the thoughts, but number 2 and number 4, so Scott Brandt and the number 4 is Todd Romine. These grants cover everybody up to, I wanna say 40,000, so if you make over 40,000, then you can't make that
Yeah,
anymore, you don't
that's-
get this.
yep.
So those two made over 40,000 within the period, so they had to come off, but they don't allow you to refill that.
Yeah.
So there's 2 slots in there that we can't refill, which hurts us too.
So if you lost half
Okay.
of your deputies
you still
and
have,
replaced them, you would not be able to give them the deputy grant, the supplement grant.
Correct, yeah. So there's a 2-pronged thing here. These 2 individuals were budgeted for, and they weren't replaced, knowing that they were gonna make 40,000 before the start of the grant. You
Right.
can't alter the grant once they're on there. That makes sense. So in essence, they should not have been on here. So moving forward, these lines won't necessarily be voided. So when, in June, you kind of plan ahead. In June, and that's why I put these names on here, on your sheets. Those would be the names on the June one, and we update those every pay period. So every pay period, we have to download our pay scale, pay sheet, and we input those into the database, and I mean, there's a lot of checks and balances to this stuff. And there is no, I've talked to the state, there's no way to alter these mid-grant, they don't
no,
alter grants.
they, in fact, they've been working this one down.
Yes.
That's what they're doing, trying to,
I think the Sheriff's Association needs to try to get the rules changed on that. Because that's a big deal.
So there's a Most Smart board that, it's a board that comprises of some law enforcement and DPS positions, and they oversee these things. It's like a methamphetamine task force is how this started, so that money goes into this too. But so there's a board that oversees these rules. Yeah, I mean, the goal is to get everybody over to 40 anyway, and you don't use this money. That's the goal of it, but yeah, we're kind of stuck in the process.
Yeah,
so.
that's really a bad deal.
It is, it really is.
Because you get the grant in July, you don't know what's even going to happen in April of the next year, April, May, and June. You
Yes.
may not have
And
it.
employee changes is what got us on this, because you
Yeah.
can't plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Has it always been that way? The guy,
yeah, I think so.
I think what gets us on this.
If you
is there's a
remember
separate
right,
line item for this.
Right.
So
'Cause-
if DSSSF did not have a
Right.
separate line item, what he was asking, is there enough in our budget? There is enough, but we can't pay DSSF out of a separate line.
That's the
item.
problem.
That's our problem.
See, and if you can't count it that, but every year, this has been they've been working, wanting to get out of it, to what they're
And that
working
is the
for.
goal,
And
100%.
that's their goal, but that's the problem.
And I think in the future in budgeting, we can probably add the deputy supplemental into the salary side of this, down here at the bottom.
Yeah, but can you collect it then?
We can.
Yeah,
So
we'll
all
have
they
to-
see, we send them the budget sheets every 2 weeks, and then they just go through and they say, well, you have 1 through 18 listed, and they got paid that 6441, and they do. They check to make sure you paid it.
Yeah.
That's all they care about. So if you have extra deputies on there that are getting paid that, you just don't. You can't claim those. But that extra 64
Can we
would
put,
come out of our.
you're wanting to put that on there now to get them paid,
Yeah.
and then next time then it'll come up. but it'll only count the people that's on it, isn't that right? See, once they go off, they get making so much, they go off of it.
Correct, yeah. If they make
See,
it
once
full.
they hit their goal, or their other pay scale, then it clears.
Yes, and we should have 2 more coming off this next year.
Yeah.
We had 2 come off last year.
You know what's good about this grant, Mark, explain it.
Yeah.
The court sends money to the state, to this pot of money.
Yeah,
And we usually send about, I think it's like 20 grand is what the county sends in, but we're able to receive 40
It's quite big.
in a
yeah.
year's time. So we're a benefit because we're a small county.
Right.
So it's definitely on our favor to continue
It
to
is.
provide this for our folks.
The bigger agencies may have 3 or 4 employees, we have 23 on there, which
Yeah.
is, that's a large amount of employees. And we're fortunate to have that many on there, because our jail staff, people want to go to the academy, be post-certified, and they want to go right back to the jail, which is amazing.
Yeah, because only post-certified individuals can qualify.
Okay, yeah.
yes.
We're fine either way, I don't know, it just seems plausible that everybody make the same amount.
I think it'd be a good idea. For one, it helps with retention, upkeeping. When they see you're doing right by them, they're not gonna wanna go someplace. They may be making less than someplace else,
Absolutely.
but you're loyal. And that means a whole
Yes.
lot to people, so.
Absolutely right.
I think it,
Yes, I will, I thought
The-
it did, I don't have it yet.
prior to the $64, it amounted to like 58 cents an hour, I think, or something like that. It wasn't a lot.
Mathematics gets beyond me, but yes, it is. It's, which is a benefit too. And we tell people that when we hire you. I mean, our flat rate's $19, but you get this and you end up making $19.58 or something like that. So it is helpful. It's very helpful.
So, when do you apply for this? Is it April or May or? Because it starts July 1,
It'd be May, I think.
May.
Yeah.
So when you apply, you're gonna put all 23 on there. Can you put like unfilled positions? Apply for unfilled,
Yeah.
or do you have to name?
No, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can. So Kent had about 4 positions on there that were never filled.
okay.
And you can do that, it's just what's budgeted for.
Okay.
So we grew with our SROs and then we grew in the jail. So the SROs is 2 positions and then the jail,
All right.
I'm sorry, the third bailiff
Wait for
2.
next year.
It's 3 positions and then we had 2 or 3 extra positions in the jail side. So that's like 6 positions that weren't ever thought of last year.
Gotcha.
So moving forward, yeah, all of these will be budgeted for, as long as they give us the funds, but they usually do. Yeah, we're just kind of in a bind now.
Yeah.
We were really excited with approval of our last year's budget that we would not be here asking for anything until November, so believe me, I do not want to.
You made it 30 days.
I know.
This was not,
I do not want to go.
this was not the plan at all.
Not ideal.
I think we could probably make it work.
I think
This-
it'd be
at
a
this
good
part of
idea.
the year, yeah.
Definitely.
I'm sorry. VA, they are hard to deal. They've been bugging me.
Persistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Can we come up with?
the rest of through June,
Well,
we
you-
would be just paying the additional 6441
Yeah.
out of the regular line item, the wages of personnel line item.
Yeah, and that's what I would suggest. I think you muddy the water if you put all of these under DSSF line item, because
Yeah.
then the state's gonna be, well, why are you?
It'd be
why
hard
do
to
you have
track.
this? The numbers
Track
are
it too.
weird, but we can track it if you have a separate, and that's you and Amy, I don't know, but a separate line item.
Yeah. So we'll have to remember, once you get awarded the grant, to shift those payments out of that other line item.
And that's why I made that too. So
Yeah.
we have a spreadsheet to go by. So when the new grant comes, those names at the bottom, we know we need to switch them.
To better understand what Aaron's talking about, if you,
Yeah.
oh, I've got the budget here. Let me pass this out real quick, so you guys can kind of follow. That one, oh, I need it back, but this is where we're at year to date, because the month is over.
Yeah.
If you look at page,
Let's see here though.
if you look at page 5,
Yeah.
this is the sheriff's budget.
Mhm.
Towards the bottom, it's you see 915 sheriff. So you have the third line down is the deputy supplement
yeah.
payment that's the grant. So these individuals that are earning that 6441, that is coming out of that line
That
item.
line item.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have to, for the 5 individuals on the bottom, that 6441 will come out of the line above that, wages of personnel, until after the new grant's approved, then we'll shift that back down.
See, right now,
And there'll be plenty in there for
We're
the
being looking.
overall, the overall fund at the end of the year, so it should be, right, Rick, it should be fine.
Yeah. I think
It's just
we're
gonna be over on that one line item.
Yeah. And then when we get the new grant,
then we'll put them,
We'll do an
the
amended
4 on
budget.
there.
we'll do an
Then we
amended
can change
budget,
it.
because we don't know what the number is yet.
No, because this
Yeah, so
item
we'll
be
be able
changed,
to add that.
gotta be
to the-
changed anyway.
So yeah, I don't see where it'd be a
Think
problem.
you can make it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
Yeah, that one, I can see where that could be a problem. How much was the difference in when they went to work? The two, huh?
Yeah,
Was it both same time?
the other two?
Yeah, the two at the top, the one that came in, Billy Tucker and I.
Oh,
Was
same
it-
time, actually, they
Well,
graduated the academy at the same time.
See, that's
Yeah.
where, I guess, one gets it, one,
Yeah, and
that's
where
a
we're
tough
at.
situation to say. I'd hate to be in your spot.
Absolutely.
Why are they happening? Okay,
Something else that we discovered, actually Aaron discovered, was we wasn't paying the proper amount. Because we was paying
54?
$54 a paycheck for those that qualified, when they should have been paid the 64.
how come?
So all of, Kent never told us. That is the truth. We was
Okay.
never informed to make the
All
adjustment. So we're going to add back pay to those individuals on the next payroll.
Okay.
And the state is willing to reimburse us for the
Yeah.
back.
Oh,
pay.
they are.
Yeah, they said they'd actually do a help.
They didn't see it either.
Well,
'Cause they check
yes, they didn't see it and.
They check it.
They don't, I mean, they see the number on there and they knew it was wrong, but
Yeah.
they can't tell us. It's not their position, so.
Okay,
Like everything, we've spent months and months cleaning up and going through stuff and we're about to
Yeah.
start an audit. We're doing our internal audits and that's what
Mhm.
caught it. And, we're getting fixed.
okay.
So yeah.
All right,
Okay. That's all we got. We'll probably be back next week and give you our monthly updates.
okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Sounds
Thank
good.
you, Aaron.
Thank you, guys.
See you later.
See you now.
Have a good day.
Is this yours or?
Oh yeah, let me have that. That'll be for Jake.
Give me this back, Rick.
Huh?
That's yours.
Okay. Okay.
Be safe. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Dennis, ready?
Okay, Tuesday, you guys asked me to find out what the right-of-way width was on 1401. And I went ahead and found out what the road width, for the right-of-way easement is on 750. Because them are the two roads that per piece of property boards up to. And it's 40 feet.
40 feet, okay.
Guess what? We found out how to find it on my iPad.
I was gonna say,
We had to check it.
the,
Scott was up here and kind of filled me in on what one to check on. Got it. But 40 feet,
it's 40 feet
Yeah.
on 1401 and 750. And them are the two roads that her property boards up to.
For both 750 and 1401.
that don't leave much of it side over there. How wide's the road? Is it a wide road?
You didn't ask me that question.
You've been looking at your iPad.
I can't measure, get close.
The road up there on 1401, if I'm remembering correctly, it's around 20 feet.
Yeah,
So you're gonna have 10 feet.
10 feet
off
on each side, and
each
that's
side.
not gonna be much by the time you take the ditch out. Cleaning out a bunch of brush won't happen.
Did you go up there? I mean,
I've been by there several times.
unless I was in the wrong spot, I actually drove up by and through it, and I gotta be honest, I mean, I've seen worse.
The arm mowers,
Really have.
the arm mowers keep it clean back to the fence and stuff where we need to maintain and stuff. But, reaching over the fence and taking out her trees, we can't do
I was
that.
gonna say, that wouldn't be a good idea.
No,
So,
don't do that or we'll be over there cleaning it up ourselves. Pay us for
but,
it. Pay it.
that's what it looks like
Yeah.
on those two roads.
Okay.
And most of her junk is on the 750 road, not the 1401 road.
Treasures.
I mean,
Or treasures.
Crazy.
you call it what you want. But, the brush is what he's concerned about, and I understand his concern, but we're doing as far as we can do.
Right, that's kind of what it looked like.
Ah,
But
okay.
I just happened to be going by and I thought I'd check and
Well, we'll have to, we need to get with him and tell Nick what we got. I still want, I'm gonna try to track those down. I
the
just
owners,
haven't got it done.
yeah.
Cause now they burn out, another house burned down, so I
Up
don't
in
know where
Lee.
they're floating around. But I'm gonna try to.
They do have a new trailer out there.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Oh,
Well then,
I drove by a couple of weeks ago.
out,
Or last
out
week,
on,
on 2 Highway.
on two? Okay, that'd be good. Maybe I can catch one if I can just get out there. My problem here lately, I just gotta get time to do it.
There's a lot of treasures out there too.
Oh, they just haven't got it filled in yet, was that it? Okay.
And then, to bring you up to date on the bridge cleaning, we've done our first cycle. We done one bridge in Fields Creek, 2 bridges in Davis, 2 bridges in Leesville, 1 bridge in Tebow, and 2 bridges in Osage. Some of them are on the south side that won't, or southwest side that won't be inspected until, March, but since I went ahead and notified the township that he had to clean those 2 bridges, he just said, go get them done, and he'd pay us for them, so I'll be sending out bills to those 5 townships for the appropriate amount of money. All the 911 signs was back up, and we sent those bills out, and there was roughly 18 or 19 bills that went out to townships and special townships. After doing some research and stuff, the county puts up the first sets of signs. And then from then on, it's maintained by the townships or the specials. And, you know, once or twice a year, we'll run the county and get the signs back up. I mean, hopefully, a lot of times they knock them off the post and they're laying there on the ground. And every now and then we'll run across the creek somewhere that has 5 or 6 sets of
Some of them
signs.
is.
So we just recycle those. So, Mark, you got anything for me?
No, I don't.
Jim, you got anything for me?
Nope.
You mean I brought a
Got your
pen
mower?
for
You ever got your mower?
Yeah, the mower came in Monday. I've already called, Rick and asked him to release the check. Matter of fact, technician's coming up at 10:30 today to make a complete walkthrough, make sure the inspection's done on it and everything before we start our training on Tuesday.
Okay.
I do have one question, and it
I've
probably,
already passed you. Are you coming back?
can you come
I,
back around?
I'll stop by and look at it. I wanna see the mulch. How does it look? Look like it worked? Okay, I wanna check it.
I actually have been stopped by 2 different people in 2 different townships complaining about the road graders, the guys that are actually doing it. Would it be wise for us to, like, I know sometimes you'll have somebody bring a demo out and invite them to come and look at it and, you know, the townships, whatnot. Do you think it'd be worth it to have, for lack of better terms, a class for them to learn how to act? Because, I mean, there's a difference between operating a grader and running a grader. And, I mean, it may, save some of the pain for you and some of the phone calls for us if maybe it was like a mandatory thing that
Good luck.
well, no, I get it.
No, I know what
but
you're
we
saying.
put on a class of some
Yeah.
sort to where you or whoever, you know, find somebody. I mean, I know one person in particular who does a really good job, but I know he probably wouldn't want to mess with it. But it just seems like, because we're throwing them out here and telling them, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I know most people, I mean, if you come to me and tell me, you know, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to paint, I'm gonna look at you and go, no, I got it down, you know, because they don't, that's their job somewhat, but they're not really any good at it. So it seems like it would behoove us to make sure that they either have to go to a class or something and kind of fine tune some of this stuff a little bit.
See, MoDOT has classes.
Do
They
they?
used to.
They used to have
And,
classes, but that is a MoDOT deal. When you're talking 18 different townships, 14 different specials, they do their own hiring of their operators, they do their own firing of their operators, and you can't mandate them to go to some kind
No.
of class because we have no rules or regulations over that.
Let me ask you this, do you think anybody'd show up if we didn't mandate it, but we put it on?
If you mandated it, you wouldn't have a person show up. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
Hey, and the thing
Because
is,
every one of
when
them
you get to the
knows
They
meeting,
what
all
they're
know
doing.
what they're doing, I've heard that already.
when you get to the meeting, everybody that runs a refrigerator is the best. And they've been doing it for 50 years.
Yeah, well,
And
I've
that
heard
thing
that too.
is, Mark, is,
So,
we don't have, per se, say over what these townships do. We give them their gas tax money, and if they do their cart rock roads, we give them their cart rock funds. But we can't tell them how to manage, to run their townships.
yeah. Just a thought, just seemed like it'd be kind of common sense, but maybe,
But, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. All I'm saying is wait till April, and when you have your meeting across the street and they got all the different
maybe I'll
townships
do it
there,
like we
Bring it
did
up.
to-
just ask them. How many of you guys?
I mean, they'll
if
probably
we
hate
made-
me, because I
do
probably
it like we
will.
have to go
If
see.
we mandate a class, say your motor graders
All right.
guys have, and see, a lot of these townships don't have motor graders.
Right,
So therefore, they ain't gonna send nobody, because,
Right.
you know, just like I said, Fields Creek out here, he called me up numerous times, send your box blade out here. Well, I can't shut down my mower and send the box blade out there for 2 weeks to get your roads back up in
Right.
shape.
right.
And, you know, until the county buys a motor grader
Well,
and starts taking it over and doing it for these townships that don't have motor graders, or they go out and buy a motor grader and hire them an operator, then,
Well, I think the county needs a motor grader, but the problem's gonna be, you'd have somebody in it 24/7 to take care of all of those roads.
well,
You'd almost have to have one person hired just to do that. And by the time they got done with one road, township, they'd be going to, it'd just be a constant.
a motor
That's
grader
how what we
can take care of in a year's time, roughly, and do it right, 80 miles of road. So with us having 800 miles of road.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I'm not saying,
Yeah, just a little.
I'm not saying take over every township.
Right,
But there's like, Fields Creek, Deerfield Special, you know, they have about 35 miles between the two of them. And so that would keep a blade operator busy about half the time.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, once it gets out, the county's got a blade and stuff, and they're charging $120 an hour or $125. And,
you
then
probably
that-
have a bit
that's-
more.
And then that's another thing you guys are gonna have to decide. Right now, when we send equipment out to do a job, we don't collect money on equipment.
Right.
We collect money on labor and materials, but we don't collect no money on equipment.
Right.
To me, we should be collecting money on equipment and supplying an operator. Now, if it takes more than one operator to be with that job, then they should pay the man hours for that extra person.
You're probably right, because otherwise you're not, it's like,
I'm spending all this money on equipment, but I'm not getting nothing back on it.
well,
You don't
yeah,
have
and
any
you
money
got
coming in to
maintenance
buy
on it. I mean, it doesn't
So-
matter what you do to that, those graders or stuff, you're gonna drop some money right off the bat. I mean, as soon as it pulls in the door. So,
And then
A
blades
good, a
aren't
good
cheap.
used one's gonna run you around 350,000.
Yeah, yeah, we looked.
Yep, they're high.
But, you know, that's just my opinion.
I thought I'd, yeah,
Well, it's like used to when we first started, we mow the roadside, all I had was one or more than 15 footer, or not even that, 10 foot. All we done is a one deal,
pass, yeah.
that's it. And then when we went to the bigger, but everybody wants it done. And then, so when you get in and start getting into issues, then you just have to work around it. And the road grader, I still say, the county needs one, I've always said that. And then, if we have one, and then rent it out, and put the man and the grader, because you're needing paid for that, that way you're getting paid, and they can make the decision, just like the 120, that won't cover a man and a grader now, I don't think.
no.
So, you gotta figure the arithmetic, and the only time you really want to do it is if they're in dire need of one.
Right,
That's where you're gonna have to make it work. And we gotta have a road grader guy that's qualified to do it. And that's gonna be the part of the
And
road
then
bridge.
it's gonna be one of them deals that I come in here and say, Mark, Fields Creek is really bad and they're not doing nothing with it. My phone's ringing off the wall. And then you guys are gonna have to have the authority to say, go
Go do
do
it.
the roads and we'll send them a
Bill.
bill. And then you're gonna have to stand behind it and collect the money.
Right.
Because,
Wow.
speaking of money, Fields Creek paid everything except for the controversy one on Booth Road, which is around $2,800.
That's it. Is that the one about delivered?
They've paid everything on their bill except for that one. And so you guys, whenever you guys release the first check, in my opinion, need to send them a receipt for that $2,800 because nobody can show me any proof that that road belongs to Clinton. Clinton can show me where it comes up to the road, but from that road surface where the culvert had to be replaced at belongs to Fields Creek Special, or Fields Creek. So we just need to send them a receipt for the 2,800 or whatever that Booth Road project was
Take it off her.
and
Well, that's
be
fine.
done with it. Because everybody else, last time I talked to Amy, was pretty well caught up. I mean, we had a couple $400 or $500 deals, but it was a billing screw up on our end, and so we had to readjust it and then send out the new bills. So once they get them, I'm sure they'll be paid if they ain't already been paid.
Sounds good.
So
Okay.
once again, anything from
Nope,
you?
nope, this time.
Jim,
I'm done.
Rick,
I think I've got some mail in your little slot down there. I can't remember what it was,
okay,
but I think I stuck something there.
have a good day.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Yes, I'll stop by and look at it. I want to
Okay.
see that mulcher pit.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Where we at on the agenda?
We're pretty much caught up with everybody that was on the agenda.
Okay, yep.
Comment.
I'll tell you what, I want to, Yola's gonna want to ask some questions first. Yeah,
Okay, so we live at Urick and we have property we want to sell and we're also getting roofs replaced. We are curious about the testing, just out of an abundance of caution. We've kind of wanted to check and see if we have any issues, but we need a contractor that could do that. Obviously, Triangle is out of the picture. this bunch that you recommended. I don't know if they're good or not, but we need an independent contractor to do the testing that needs to be done just to clear the property.
I really don't know. I mean, it's just like us. One of the things, I reached out to the water company, which I knew they'd do that sort of thing. And this company that we looked at or talking about, it's a big company. And I got a feeling it's gonna be pricey to have a test run. But to do that on every piece of property and do all that, I don't know the answer to it. If I knew anybody, but I haven't got any.
Can I ask you, and I don't wanna pry, but why are you saying that Triangle's out of the picture for it?
Well, our lawyer is Michael Edgett.
Yes.
He contacted Triangle. Triangle told him
To go to
that
prove.
because they're the source for the lawsuit, that they couldn't test for anyone else.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Did you guys go to that meeting last night? Did you happen to go to it? So you guys are aware that it's no cost whatsoever to you guys. And if they lose, you get nothing. If they win, then whatever damages, and there may not be any damages. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say, and I don't wanna like, well, I think this lawyer's good and I think this, because that's not what I'm doing. But from a common sense standpoint, you're not putting anything out. They will come and test your place. So you're actually gonna get a test for free, where if, even these guys, and I don't know how much they charge, I got no idea, but I'm gonna tell you, I did hear just for Triangle to test one of the, like borium or whatever that stuff is that's in there, was $800 just for that one. So the testing, it's like we had talked about, it's gonna be expensive. I would recommend maybe talking to that TJ Pruis. And because if you're on the lawsuit, like I said, all you're doing is signing a piece of paper. That's it. You walk away and then they're gonna come out and test your property for free. If they come out and you don't have anything, it didn't cost you a dime. If you do, well, at that point, honestly, at that point, you're gonna have a hard time selling. But that's also the risk you're gonna have, no matter who you use. But I mean, and like I said, because I'm not picking, like, I don't know this TJ, I met him there, I don't know him from Adam. So, and I'm not even gonna tell you he's a great lawyer, because I don't know. But in a scenario like that, if I was you guys, no harm, no foul. So, I mean, that is something to think about, because even if Jim and I gave you the people that because we got 3 or 4 or something, I can't remember what it was. Even if we give you them, I mean, if you're trying to sell your place or you're getting ready to sell it.
we're just selling a parcel, one tract of property.
Okay.
But we're interested also in our residences, because we're gonna have the roof replaced and the gutters replaced. If there's contamination on the roofing and then the gutters, that becomes hazardous waste. And that's.
See, that's the thing, and if it is, I'd leave it. Honestly, I'd leave it, because they'll come out and check it. When they do the test, they can check your roof to see what's on it. It's like, if I'm so far away, so it doesn't make any difference where we live. But, I mean, both of my sons, they're actually closer to where, I mean, they're not that far from me, and they signed up for it. They may say, oh, you guys are way too far away, you don't have anything to worry about, but they'll still come out.
They would have established a distance.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if I understand right, you guys are gonna contract to have testing done, but how far off is that from the county? I mean, I know the process of quoting is.
Right now, we gotta figure out an RFQ, and I really, hopefully, and I really think they'll get us some kind of figures to look at because they know what they're wanting, gotta have. They're gonna look what, I'll be truthful with you, what the lawsuit tells them, what they're gonna really go dig in, find out, just like us. And that's what we just wanna find out if everything's safe. That's our number one thing. Now, what it's called, until we get an RFQ to send out to the companies, you don't know what they're gonna charge. Cause send a person out and it depends on where they're at. Some of those companies are quite a ways, and one of the companies I found in local, they get out of Kansas City and then they ship their tests out to Illinois to be checked. And that's where they get all of it. But
Yeah,
they're
it's a-
just talking about one thing, that's water.
And you don't know how quick even, once it goes to the testing facility.
Yeah.
I've sent stuff off that we had to have tested for our business, and it took a while. I mean, I think it was close to a month before we found out anything at all, which kind of stinks, because I mean, it's a bad scenario. Everybody's wanting to know right away, but unfortunately, there are steps that have to be taken to make sure, you know, everything is done properly, so. Love to be able to give you guys some real answers, but that's kind of, I mean, we honestly don't know.
Well, I think, like, one thing we were hoping for you guys is maybe you could share any potential companies' names with
Yeah.
us or whatever. And
The only one I've got's that one now. Chase had got 2 or 3 companies' names, but we hadn't even looked at them.
Yeah, we haven't talked.
All I done was found the one, I printed off everything just for us to kind of look at because I just found it.
it kind of sounds to me like maybe we need to contact the lawyer. And
Yeah, I mean, we don't wanna necessarily be part of a lawsuit, we were just needing to
Mhm.
And I'm
mitigate
pretty
our risk right
Right.
now. for
I really
these
think
two
we're
things.
probably outside of the zone probably.
Right.
Probably.
We line up with 700 Road,
Okay.
northwest 700, and the power plant's at southwest 400, so theoretically, that's 11 miles,
Yeah,
and probably we're outside of the danger area, but we don't know.
Mhm.
That's what we'd like to find out.
honestly, it's
Okay.
hard to say.
And what was your all's names?
Smith, I'm Terry, and
Smith.
Suzanne Smith.
Terry and Suzanne Smith. Okay, all right.
The ones,
What,
I mean, I can give you the 3 names of the people that, one is Eurofins, EUROFINS. The other one is SGS. And then Intertek, INTERTEK. Those are, the issue is you can get a whole lot of testing done. I mean, there's plenty of places around that like do testing, but not for what you are looking for. You know, I mean, because a lot of places tell you, yeah, we can test for chromium. But then when you ask them if they can test for chromium-6, no, they can test for chromium-3. Big difference.
So we need to have that list of the data that's already been tested, the things that were high.
We have a copy of the
And,
triangle
you know, so-
results
Yeah,
that Katie
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
posted on their website.
Yeah, that should
That's
get you
all.
what you need.
And so that's what we wanted to look at.
Yeah.
All right, we'll look online and try to get information about these.
Yep.
I mean, I know you guys are probably looking months out before you get any results.
Oh, I hope not.
I hope
boy,
not.
I'm hoping.
We're hoping that we're trying to get it done a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But also, we gotta get everything done for the county. Before we ever do anything, first off, we gotta get 2 or 3, send them off to get a quote, and then we can decide. And then we'll have to talk it, because what they really would like to have, we're gonna do testing, they'd like to test at the same time. And I understand that.
Oh, yeah.
And what I understand, that's the way it should be if you're gonna get close, because everything changes daily.
Yeah.
And hourly, really, on water. It changes that quick.
Fortunately, I don't think we're concerned with water, probably. I mean,
Well,
Well, you're on
water,
number,
so-
you're on number 3, I think, or 2. Aren't you there in Urick?
I think we're on 4.
Oh, you're on 4, okay, all right.
I
But
guess the water comes from the same.
a real water companies, well, I know they have to send it in once a year anyway. For
We
the,
actually have one property in the town of Urick as
Okay.
well.
okay, now that one I know would be, on the rural water number 3, which is out of here. And Monroe's, they come up, now I don't know exactly where they run, but they test all theirs too. I mean, most of the real companies gonna do it.
In my mind, I have to think, how much would it take to contaminate the billions of gallons
Oh,
of
yeah.
water in that lake?
Well,
But you
that's-
never know.
Nope,
You never know.
you don't know.
So that was really our interest in trying to get something as
Okay,
timely
well,
as
that's- I
possible.
wish it was something we could say, but I don't really have, for us, we really don't have any authority in it, that's our problem.
Yeah.
We don't,
But you
so-
are gonna test.
We wanna do it for the
data.
people, we're just gonna try to find out, and I'd love to find out what the problem is, so we kinda know what to look for,
Right.
cause
I
that's
know
always
somebody
been a
mentioned
problem.
emergency, is there any way that you can go single source in a case like this? or-
Do not know.
Well, we'll take this and see what we can figure out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, okay.
Your turn.
You- Okay. All right, Charlie.
I understand there was a person called you all or talked to you all about the road out there, 944. He didn't want it to be reopened. I was hoping I'd get to talk to Bradley.
Yeah, I don't know when, do you know when he's coming?
Anyway,
Huh?
Will he be here next Tuesday?
You know, I
It would
don't know,
surprise me.
I don't know how long, I know that shoulder operation, the main thing is getting started, once he gets, he'll be mobile, but I don't know how long it takes.
He gets stuck out
He may
like
be here with
this.
his arms stuck out.
anyway, this guy that's
Right.
called in, that's got property on that road too, he doesn't want it open. Bradley is
Yeah.
supposed to listen to tape, and there is paperwork somewhere that shows that is a public road all the way down. He was supposed to listen to tape and look into it. What I'm saying is, this guy doesn't want it open, but yet, if that's a public road and he's cutting logs, he's gonna cut logs and bring across those whistles. What happens if he caves those whistles in and it's a public road? Is there any way to stop him to do that?
I don't know if he's got a right of way.
I was gonna say, not, you can't,
Now, there's only one way. He don't care about the road because he's got another way to get in his property. Just me and Scott Mosley is the only two that's got a way to get into our
Right.
roads. So what I'm saying is, you all don't have any authority to keep from him hauling all those logs out there and breaking the whistles in? Because Bullock is the one that's seen the
right,
paperwork
right.
and knows it's a public road.
Let me tell you, because like I said, this is not on my side.
I know, I know.
And I hate to get
I was
in,
hoping he was gonna be
Yeah.
here because I called him and left a message.
I mean, I don't want to speak for Jake, and honestly, Jim probably knows more about this than me. Just thinking out loud. If there is not a sign marked that says like going over this, there's a weight limit there, I would figure that there's nothing you can do about, I mean, if he crashes in, then he crashes in. But my understanding is what I've heard just from tidbits and whatnot is that actually was not a public road at any time.
Yes, sir.
Did it?
Yes,
And,
it was.
well, let me finish. And actually Donnie Bullock put that in, and he shouldn't have put that in.
No.
Because he
Wrong.
didn't have the authority to put it in if it was not a public road.
The road board members came to him and said they needed a double whistle because the other one wasn't carrying the water. Don told them, you find the paperwork, and if it's a public road, I'll put the double whistles in. So the paperwork is in this courthouse somewhere. And you was probably there whenever Bullock saw the paperwork too.
No, I wasn't there then.
Okay, okay. All I'm
I
saying
know when
is
Donnie was there, it was
Somebody
probably about 10 years
knows
ago.
where the paperwork's at. And it's been a public road all its time. But I'm worried about the
Did we look
whistles.
for it? I mean, I would figure that.
We've looked all over.
Yeah.
You can't find
in
it.
records that we've have access to.
Well, I got a tape here of all the road board members that saw the paperwork.
That, and
It should still be here if
if it's here, yeah, I mean, it should.
But I'm
be.
just wondering about the caving in.
I don't, Jim, you'd know better than I would on that. I mean,
Who
it-
puts the road limits on it? On those, who puts
the
weight
road,
limits?
the limits on them,
Uh-huh.
is that state
Well, on whistles,
or whistles?
I don't know of any whistle that's been posted there. We don't have posted whistles, how much weight to go across. No, till they cave in, then
Till
we
they
have to
cave in,
write
then we
fix it.
replace-
Put a new one.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be.
See, I honestly.
That's the only way I can get in.
And if it's a private road, then with nothing you can do.
There's no way to get to your
Just not
property.
public.
No, we're landlocked, and he knows it. There's only one road to get to my place. I'm landlocked, and so is Scott. That road used to-
Charlie don't wanna listen to what I gotta say, so it doesn't matter. I've already voiced my opinion there. So.
Honest, this is, like I said, I don't wanna overstep on Jake's. This is Jake's, he's the one, and I think he's done some research with it, I will tell you that.
He was
Pretty
supposed
sure
to
he
listen to
did.
this tape, and he didn't get around to it with those meetings out there. And it was
Okay,
so late then,
okay.
he didn't get to.
Because he honestly, he needs to be the one to make that decision for you. If you were in mine, I would probably honestly do more research on it and
I'm just worried about the whistle. 'Cause
Right,
I'm not-
right.
There's no way I can get to my house if those caves in. And there, you
well,
don't
if
care.
it caves in, we'd probably have to put it in. I mean, I would figure, I mean, unless it's,
Well,
unless
not on
it's,
private
unless
road.
it's, I mean,
If it's
unless
private
it's
road.
not a road.
Yeah, see, if it's private
But
road, you're.
let
Yeah,
me
no.
say this, if it
There's
is a
one guy
public
that I
road.
just should have never got back in the business. But anyway, I'm trying to go with the new guys that has an open mind and some common sense.
Right,
you know?
right. No, yeah, and I get it.
And I like the way you stood up for us out there.
Well, that I know a little bit more about, so I'm just, when you catch me sideways with somebody else's road, it's hard for me. And once again, like I said, Jake, it's his side.
I know,
And
I know,
and
I was
think he'll
expecting-
take care of it one way. I mean,
I
you may not
expected
get the
him to
answer
be
that you
here.
want, but I think Jake will take care of it. I do. I don't think, I mean, he's not gonna blow it off, because that's not Jake.
I know.
He will do what he needs to do to rectify one way or the
A lot
other.
of
He's definitely
comments
working on it.
there
Yeah, yeah.
at the meeting the other night when they was talking about the commissioners should have took this in the hand a long time ago. And if they at fault, they should be sued or whatever, made an attempt to get this straightened out a long time ago. But this, I've been out there all my life. I lost a mom because of cancer out there. You can check around in the neighborhood and see how many people has died of cancer.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not just something that happened overnight.
No, this is,
And to
This has
me,
been
if
an
you,
ongoing
just
problem.
like this new thing on the solar panels, that was a closed meeting. The public didn't have a chance to vote on it. That's wrong,
I made my,
I know. But
I mean,
anyway, I'm just trying to get this straightened out on my road. There's no way I can get to.
what I would recommend, like I said,
I'm already getting ready to talk to the sheriff here.
I don't know how soon, I mean, Jake's getting that shoulder surgery, so, and I told him I would probably give him a call Tuesday, just to let him know everything that's going on or whatnot. But I don't see Jake honestly coming into, I mean, I don't know how long I know him for my knee, I was down for a
I
while.
don't see him next week for sure.
Yeah.
Probably another week.
That's
I
kind of
was
what
just here to voice my opinion about a guy that shot 2 of my dogs and got away with it.
Well,
The type of guy like that, and voicing his opinion, he don't want the road open up. That's not right for the public. You got other people that's got land on there that can't get in. He can get in from the other side. I'm just voicing my opinion.
Right, no, hey, and you honestly, you have every right to and whatnot, but once
My
again,
grandpa
like I
used to own
said.
that. My grandma, Kidwell, she was a Cherokee Indian, and she owned that ground before, from what I understand. And then grandpa bought it, and then it went to dad and then me. So it's not just me moving in. I've been there, I'm
Right.
73 years
Right.
old.
Well,
And
and
the only
I'll
time
be
I
honest
was
with
away
you, for
from it
me, it
when I
wouldn't
got
matter if you
drafted.
just moved in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in the right, you're in the right. I don't care when you showed up. Just because you've lived here 100 years, I'll be brutally honest,
I hope I live.
doesn't carry weight with me at all. I mean, I'm
I
just
got
being
you.
honest.
I got you.
So,
I just wanted to voice my opinion about the
sure,
road,
sure.
because there's more than one person.
Yep, no, I get it, I'm right there with you, but like I said, this lays at Jake's feet. And I know for a fact he is working on it, I do know that.
Okay.
But I couldn't tell you the particulars, because I don't know. I've got enough
Just-
going on with what I'm
This is
trying
my
to.
first step, and then it proves out, it won't, this is evidence and
Sure,
stuff. So
sure.
I appreciate you.
Yep, not a problem. Appreciate you coming in.
You bet.
See you, Charlie. Hey, you guys want to go over this budget real quick? This is like year to date through June or January.
Yeah.
One last
If,
thing, can I get a copy of last week's minutes?
get with Kelly,
Okay.
she can get that for you. If you go to page, gosh, I'm gonna have to go to the eye doctor.
Hey, I
I
was
think it
just,
says 10.
that's why you.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, page 10. We're looking at Fund 20, which is a little further down than half.
Fund 20.
That's the criminal cost DSSSF. That's the deputy supplement. That is the court. It's like right here is where I'm looking. That's the court deposits that money and then we send it to the state.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't do it. They deposit it in the treasury and then we send it.
Yeah.
So we're only budgeted 15,000 to send
Mhm.
to the state, but we're able to get back about 25. So it is definitely a positive thing for our county to be a part of that grant. It helps our starting pay. It helps
For the
those
deputies.
that not making that 40. The rest of the budget, I think we're, for January, I think we're right in line. I was concerned about not having the work comp bill yet, so I sent an email off to get a hold of that so we can get it paid. It usually comes in January, and I don't remember if I saw it or not, but I did reach out to them to
How
make
much
sure I didn't miss it.
how much is it per 100 for,
It depends on the class.
Yeah.
does it? Okay.
You got
Maintenance
several
is the
classes in
highest.
division.
Maintenance is the
and road and
highest.
bridge.
Road and bridge, and then the law enforcement.
Law enforcement's
Probably high, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pricey. When I think in GR, we have budgeted to spend almost 60,000 just in the GR. I do have a couple other things for you guys, and I think Scott's going to come up too. This is from the auditors. This is just a questionnaire of, are you aware of any fraudulent activity within the county? And it's just yes or no stuff. And if you are aware of things fraudulent going on, you're supposed to write what it is. And then also mail it directly to them. Don't turn it into me, just send that straight to them.
Okay.
This document, we receive money from the state tax commission for a certain amount of work done by the assessor's office, and it's done quarterly. they give us so many dollars per parcel that we have, and we have, let's see how many parcels we have is on here. 17,002 parcels in the county. And they pay $3.30 a parcel, which total that they give us is 56,000, which doesn't even cover the price of the assessor. But we have to send this in quarterly, and we usually get all 56,000 in one quarter, but we're still required to continue to do these quarters. It's a big pain in the butt. So we don't get anything off of this quarter, but that is the quarterly money we get back. And what it is, it's copies of all their invoices that we paid out of the assessor's office and
okay.
payroll information.
Yeah.
So I think we get, it's a state, so it's July 1 is the first quarter, and that's
Jim, you
that's pretty much when we finalize that. That is really all I had. I'll put this on letterhead for you guys to sign Tuesday. Get that off. Are you able to email it to me? That way I can just cut and paste it instead of retype it. I mean, it's whatever we can do.
Yeah, I can.
It might just be easier to just retype it, but
Or I say I can have somebody.
I know Scott's wanting to visit with you guys about this. There is an appeal. Somebody protested their taxes because they don't believe that their property should be assessed the way it is. So it was appealed to the State Tax Commission, and that is for Scott to hire representation for his office.
His office. Yeah.
There should be a spot on there for you to sign, Jim.
Right here.
Oh, this one. That box right there, I think is for you.
No, it's electronic seal, signature, commissioner, state taxes. This over here? Sure it is, right? Wait a minute, up here it is. Okay.
Do we need to, do we need to add anything in the minutes about all of us going out to the fly ash? When we all went out there to look at that fly ash?
See, I did put that, did I put in there that Mark Offer met with the commission on site? Was that in the minutes?
I thought we did. It wasn't in the minutes the other day. We need to put that in there.
That's, yeah, cause I'm,
Just to cover us. Because all three of us are together in emergency management director.
I'll put it in these minutes.
Okay.
That'll-
Yeah, that'll do it today.
Okay.
As long as we
Okay.
get it in days minutes, we're all right.
And you did that Thursday afternoon, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Went out there at 3:30. Yeah, that's when we're left.
what about 3:30?
The Monday.
Was it Monday?
Was it Monday?
Yes, it was Monday.
What?
It was Monday. It was right before the.
That's right, it was before
Yeah, yeah. 'cause
Tuesday. Guess what? Hey, all right, yep. Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
on that one for a minute.
Thank you.
He had to remember what day he washed that truck.
And guess what? That was a major deal. He remembers that stuff. That's all we gotta do is say, when's the last time we washed the truck and figure it out.
Yep, that was Monday.
By the way, we need to get that done.
And you met with, that was with Evergy and Mark Alford and,
No energy.
no Evergy?
No, ever.
Just
Just
Mark.
Mark.
That's it.
Okay, so it was Mark Alford, commissioners, and you went out there?
Yeah, he had Luke and,
Yes, I don't
I don't
remember.
remember her name,
Yeah. And there was the,
Channel 41.
yeah, one of them was out there.
I think it was either 41 or 4 or something.
Yeah,
It had a 4 in it.
I can't remember who it was.
Now, if we can get an RFQ from them, so we know what to send out, we need to send that to two or three of them and just
Yeah.
find out what we got. My big thing is I'd just like to know what all the tests, the ones that are really, really.
Mm-hmm. The important ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I did have somebody come up to me last night at that meeting, because I'm sitting in the back just listening.
I'm glad I didn't go.
Yeah, it was long.
Well,
It was long.
and the main reason because that puts two of us there. and that
Yeah, well,
constitutes it. When you get into that and a bunch of lawyers, I got thinking about it.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be smart. I knew you was going.
Yeah, Jake said, I knew Jake wasn't gonna go,
And
so
then I got thinking, that wouldn't be smart for both of us. I can find out everything I need to know.
the lady, she was Deepwater, mayor of Deepwater.
Yep, no,
She came up and asked me, I guess they built a Dollar General
yes,
there.
yep, they did.
She was concerned about whether they were getting all their tax money, and asked me if
Sales tax.
I guess, I don't know. And
It should
she
be
asked me if I
sales
would
tax.
ask about it, and I told her I'd ask, but I mean, I honestly didn't even know who to ask.
Maybe Department of Revenue.
Yeah, Department
They
of
can track.
Revenue.
Is that who it is?
Yeah,
They can
they'll
track how
track
much
that. They should be doing, because she should have a number, or the dollar store has a number, and that's where they're at. And
Okay.
they'll track at the senator. And
There's a
then-
sales tax
Yeah.
department within the Department of
Yeah.
Revenue.
Yep,
So that's who it needs
that's
to
who
be.
she got to get in touch with.
Okay.
Is that
okay.
what she was talking about? Was
I
the sales
think so.
tax or the property tax?
It may be the property tax even.
Well,
That'd be Scott that she'd need.
yeah, that'd be Scott.
I'll ask him when he comes.
She was here
Tammy, yeah,
and I
she,
sent her to Scott a couple days ago.
okay, then she probably, Scott's
I
probably.
don't know if it was
know.
about that or not.
Scott coming out?
Well, I texted him to come up, but he didn't respond.
Is he here? He left. He left the building?
I don't know.
We need to put a tractor on. Let's put a tractor on that truck.
Susie can track them downstairs.
We wouldn't have to worry about the other one because we know it'd be dirty.
He'll be here next week, next Tuesday, he said.
Hmm?
He'll talk about that Tuesday.
All right, okay.
Is that, let me hang on to that, wherever it's at.
This?
No,
No.
the thing from Scott. It's right there beside you, the blue. Here.
This one?
Yep.
You got that? Oh, okay.
Ricky sent me that email.
Uh-huh.
Of course, I can't pull it up now.
Hmm.
From some of the, all I saw was sunshine law. I didn't, hell, and I can't get in.
It was a link to the chapter 100 documents. Is that what you're talking about?
Give me a second.
You need IT at all your meetings to teach them how to operate their phones.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
We need IT at all the meetings to teach you how to use your phones.
Pretty much, hey, I'm honest, I have no idea how.
I know how to
hate
get my
these
butt in
things.
trouble with them. That's what I do.
We could go back to the Rotary and I'd be golden.
Tell you what, years ago when they had a rotary, I used to remember all the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, as you get away from that, hey, I'll lose it.
I had to
I don't
take my
remember.
daughter's car to Walmart yesterday, get a new battery in it, and they said, it's not under my name, it's under her name. And they said, well, what's her phone number? Hang on a second, I'll have to look it up on my phone.
I tell you what, when you get used to it, it's kind of like a calculator. Once you get away from it, used to, you can multiply all of it in your head. It'd be done quicker. So. And I think some of the kids tell me it's age too.
Yeah.
I gave Jim an update, the internet's in downstairs.
Oh,
We're gonna start moving stuff today.
Okay, yeah.
And if you wanna make a note, I washed the truck. Wait, I washed the truck on Monday.
Did the wheels fall off?
Hey, did he, ask one thing, did he get the inside clean? Did you throw the trash away?
And the front seat, I don't know about the back seat. I only sit up front.
God. Boy,
Oh,
boy,
well,
boy.
I'll find it later. But, yeah, there was, I don't know, it was a chapter one, it was after that. You sent me something after that, or maybe before that.
Was it
Okay.
auditor stuff?
That we had gotten, hell,
Wait, are you on the right phone?
yeah,
Okay.
Which phone number?
there's a comedian in every group, you know?
Don't encourage him. He'll get worse.
You know what, the best thing to do, send it to all your contacts, all the phone numbers.
I had them set it up, so all I had to do was hit one
Email.
button and my email came up, and then I closed everything out, and now it started all over.
Hey, you ever got nothing to all you get?
Somebody, and maybe they came to me, somebody requested a sunshine law.
Oh, sunshine request?
It was a sunshine request.
Did you send it to me?
Well, you need to
I
send that
didn't
right
know.
to
I thought
Rick.
you sent it to me.
Well, you need to, if you
And
ever
you
get
were
anything
on
like it, send it straight to
Yeah,
Rick.
yeah, you were on it though.
Oh, I was?
It was sent to you, cause you know, it shows CC whatever.
See, wonder which one it was. Cause I didn't see anything about sunshine requests. I didn't.
I get sunshine requests all the time that don't pertain to my office. Like if they're unpaid property taxes, it goes somewhere else, and deeds of property goes somewhere else. So we filter through a lot of those.
Come here. You're an IT close guy. Okay, so it should be there, but how can I get to my email?
Rick, did you get it?
Oh, shit.
Would that be in-
you. Nope, it's not Gmail.
Oh.
It's in Chrome.
Huh?
Do you have an app for your, go up to your home screen?
I got the email that you sent for the chapter 100 being on the
See, that's
website.
what, it's.
Yeah.
I assume it'd be
used
in
to
that one,
pulled
wouldn't it?
up.
I don't know.
Normally it's in there.
That's what I thought.
Is it not under?
Try that. That's probably it right there. But, yeah.
You sure it's not under your Gmail?
I'm not, it's, I don't think it's, I mean, it's.
I got our son.
Did it say sunshine in that?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's, okay, there's my. Did they get me in?
You have to enter your PIN.
Are
Whatever you do to unlock your phone, your screen lock.
Your face.
This one's gonna, when you do it in your email, you gotta, whatever you make your PIN.
I don't even
In
know what
Gmail?
that is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you got, forget it.
I have no idea if that's that.
I haven't got it.
It's- So now you can, if you want, you can search, you said sunshine?
Yeah.
You can see if you. December 13th was the last thing you got, anything sunshine. But that's your mail. The other, oh, go.
Find it?
Go up. But that's not,
Do you
No,
remember
that's
who
not,
it's
that's
from?
not my,
Mark,
here we go, now we're getting closer to it.
you remember who it's from?
One of the news stations.
Oh, news
Yeah,
station.
Kelly wants to visit if you'll stop by before you leave.
no.
What I'm gonna end
That
up
needs work.
doing, when we get done, I'll go back to the office, cause you were CC'd on it.
Well, then I
Yeah,
guess
Yeah,
I
keep
couldn't
reminding
delete it,
So,
didn't know it.
well, sometimes the sender can resend it and where you, or take it out of your mailbox.
really.
Unsend.
Yeah, I can look down there and see what I sent.
Cause usually everything I get comes from Rick or around the horn. Main reason is I try to get Rick, go to Rick first, cause then everybody gets it. Cause you haven't, he puts us in a group and just sends it.
Yeah, this, what I'm looking at is not, that's not what it normally looks like, so something's not. I will, when I get back to the office,
Wonder which email they sent me. Sunshine, yes. If I put it in, just sunshine, y'all.
yeah, I know it was in this one. Just don't know where. I'll find it and I'll send it to both of you.
The one I got about sunshine law was back in 21. Rick, you sent one. Rick. And 718 sent one. And it's 2017. Been a few days.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't have anything else for you guys.
Do we need to call David Johnson? Or, yeah, to discuss the,
Yeah,
Flash?
you had Flash questions. I don't know why.
I don't know, I mean, we really can't, I don't know anything.
Is it David Johnson? Is that his name?
Yeah, David Johnson, we'll call him. Is that okay?
Yeah, we got,
Let's
yeah,
go ahead
yeah.
and do that.
We are gonna look into the emergency procurement thing to where you can get testing done faster.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Where do you find that?
Hello?
Oh, David?
Yeah.
David, this is Jim Stone, presiding commissioner, Henry County, and I have with me Mark Lawson, our North Side Commissioner, and Rick Watson, our county clerk. And we got you on speakerphone, and you just want to ask some questions or?
Is this the defense attorney for the plaintiffs that are filing suit against Evergy Energy?
No, this is the county commissioner up at the courthouse.
Oh, commissioner, okay. I did contact, I got online and saw that there were several representatives for different parties working together, and I did make a contact to one of the local, I think it's a local firm, and inquired, and they're gonna give a call back. Now, you are the county commissioner, correct?
Yes.
Okay, what position, how do you stand with the allegations of Evergy Energy and the impact on the community environment and Truman Lake and the surrounding area around that plant? Do you have a concern that you want to know more about it, or how do you feel about it? Because I don't want to waste somebody's time that doesn't want to hear what I know.
Well, we're definitely concerned, but as far as having any power, we really don't have any power to do anything on it. But we are just concerned. That's why we reached out, and we want to do some of our testing just for our own benefit. But we are concerned.
Sir, what's your name again?
Jim Stone.
Jim what?
Stone, S-T-O-N-E.
Just like the rock. Stone.
Yes, there you go.
Jim Stone. I'm very hard of hearing, sir.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm 65 years old,
Well,
and I'm a disabled retired senior, and I retired from the Carpenters Union in 2011, and I suffered from a high level of tendonitis, high frequency hearing loss from working in the environment in the construction industry, and over 50% of that was caused by working in power plants and refineries and chemical plants, as well as being a pile driver and a structural welder, certified, whatever. But my job in the union besides doing structural concrete and heavy highway, is I was certified by OSHA to build scaffolding, and we were the ones that wrote the book for OSHA for the training and certification course that they've accepted nationwide now, because there was a lot of accidents happening with crews building scaffold for themselves and didn't know what they were doing. They was getting each other killed. So the unions got together with the Boilermakers, and the Boilermakers said, give it to the carpenters. Well, in doing so, we were in that same environment that they were, and we also had to be trained for hazardous waste removal, asbestos contamination, as well as ammonia gases and carbon emissions, PCBs, hot oils, hot gases, ammonia nitrates, iron oxides, and there were so many sections in power plants that emitted radiation. A lot of people, them son of a bitches tried to fucking hide it from us, sir. We would go into a power plant. We were sent by the union, hired by the mechanical contractor to work on these power plants for Kansas City Power and Light and repair them. So we went in there and did what we call a pre-outage, where we worked while the unit was running. We built the brake shacks, we built the containment enclosures in an exposed area where asbestos was hanging everywhere. You just walk up and pick it up with your hands and crumble it, and we're walking around in this shit in our clothes and a little paper suit with a paper mask. Like, that's going to do us a lot of shit of good. And then we're working in a contained environment in a confined space. Okay, you know what a catalytic converter on a vehicle's for, right?
Yes.
It takes emissions out of the exhaust system from the engine. When the engine burns, it puts out toxic particles and emission from burning that fuel, and it goes out the exhaust pipe, and the catalytic converter catches all them solids, and they get clogged up, and you got to replace them. Well, power plants operate under the same idea. You got coal, gases, and solids coming out of that plant, deadly. And they go through the same system as a catalytic converter, but they're the size of semi-trailers, the same length as a semi-trailer, and 12 of them stacked on top of each other. And that's what the exhaust emissions go through coming out of the plant to try to catch the particles. And they go through other systems, AQC, which is an aqua filtering system that's electrified, that's also supposed to pick up particles and wash them down. Now, the problem is, back in the 50s and 60s when they built these units, there was no emission control system in them at all. Everything went up through the stack and up in the air and floated through the atmosphere until the rain brought it down wherever it happened, or if the particles were heavy enough, like around the diameter. There's a certain area around every plant, a certain radius, that those particles are concentrated and heavy enough, they come down on their own when they cool off. And they contaminate everything around, and it's called acid rain. Back in the day, people's vehicles around the plant's paint was getting ate off of them, and any equipment they had that was outside would just rust up. The tools you brought to work would get rusty if they got wet, and our wrenches would lock up. Okay? That was from the acid activating units. Okay? This acid rain, Power Light put car washes and canopies to cover their employees' vehicles, and a car wash they could drive through to get out, but the construction workers didn't get it. So it would heat your shit up, and it would heat your clothes off your body. If you worked in an area and got that acid water on you, it would heat your Carhartt clothing, your boot soles off, heat your gloves up and burn your skin. You'd get sores in your nose and mouth, and we would get a condition that we called the fly ash flu, was onset of pneumonia caused by inhaling the dust, fly ash that's got arsenic in it. You get too much of it, it breaks your immune system down. You get sick. You get too much arsenic, it'll freaking kill you. But if it doesn't kill you, the arsenic that's in the fly ash, after you burn it, the only thing left of pulverized coal and limestone is fly ash. It's indestructible. It's worse than asbestos. You get that in your body, and it reacts with moisture. It becomes hard like a rock, and it activates the acid and the arsenic, and it gets into your system. If it doesn't kill you, it'll give you pneumonia and destroy your lungs. It'll destroy your liver, and it destroys your immune system. And then after you get contaminated with arsenic, then you get sick over the littlest things. And the majority of the workers, very few ever reach full retirement, and I'm a contaminated worker. I have physical problems today because of the environment I worked in. And we filed a suit back in the early 1990s with the Boilermakers. And it's a junction lawsuit, class action. It never came to be, nothing ever happened of it, never heard of about it again. And we knew back then there was something wrong, and some of us smuggled out some fly ash and some oils and some water from the plant, had it tested privately outside the facility, and we took pictures of where we were working around this exposed shit. And we had that stuff tested, and there were so many deadly toxins in everything that we took out of there. And we were told if we ever got caught doing anything like that, that we would not only lose our jobs working in a power plant, but the union would discharge us and blackball our ass if we ever said a fucking word. So everybody's on the take on this shit, I guarantee you. And the truth be known to you and the rest of the community, I can vouch and say there are so many toxic chemicals and toxins in the ground and in the water and all around the area of them plants and in Truman Lake that it's unbelievable, because everything that come out of the power plant washed into Montrose Lake, went out the dam into Deepwater Creek and flushed into Truman. And if you go from that lake all the way down into Truman, Deepwater Creek, every soil sample you take out of the bottom of that creek is going to be contaminated. I guarantee you. It'll have iron oxide in it. It'll have PCB oils in it. It'll have transformer oil in it. It'll have arsenic in it, sulfuric acid, fly ash, coal dust, and the list will go on and on. If you could get to the dam, the power plant, and go out there in a boat and get a bottom sample out of Montrose Lake, you could identify everything, and it would prove that what the community said is true. And you got this shit in Truman Lake, the reservoir that we're getting drinking water out of. It'd be a good idea to start doing some water testing around this side of Truman Lake and see what's coming into your water treatment plant in Clinton. And primarily Deepwater, because their water treatment plant down there ain't adequate enough to get the poisons and toxins out of the water that's leaking into the lake. And if you don't believe me, go down there and get some people to go do some testing and see if I ain't telling you the truth. And I'll even go out there with you and show you where to go to get the sample. And here's another thing. If they try to lie and say that didn't come from Montrose, it doesn't exist, all we got to do is drive over to Lacey, Kansas, and I can go in the back end of the lake and take you to the settling ponds where all that rotten shit runs off into the shallow ponds to settle out. We can get the same samples there, and they'll be just like what's poisoned everything around Montrose, and the same things happen at Lacey and all these other plants. All that toxic shit goes off into your rivers, your lakes, wherever their source of water is to run a power plant. Eventually it recycles through the unit and goes back into the reservoir and into the lake. And anything on the ground or the air that gets wet and heavy enough to come down goes right back into your water system, and it drops all over the land and gets in the soil. And they even take this fly ash and mix it up to make road base on your gravel roads and blacktop roads and building sites. They stabilize the soil with fly ash and clay and make a slurry and spray it out, and it reacts and becomes hard in just minutes. But the toxins that are put off by the gases that come off of it when it's reacting with the water and the chemical reaction, you don't want to breathe it, it'll kill you. and this is going in your open air. Every concrete plant uses fly ash now. All these construction sites that do road work and site work stabilize the soil with impregnated fly ash. Fly ash is mixed in as a filler in your concrete, and it's used in a lot of building material like cinder blocks, concrete blocks, bricks, and anything to do with masonry and plaster. Fly ash is in it, and it's got arsenic and sulfuric acid in it. And this is what the government allows the companies to use because it's a waste product. And instead of burying it, they're selling it to make money, and it's toxic. But the government lets them do it because they're making money off of it. And that's how things work in the real world. If you got a lot of money and you have any power in the government, you can pretty much do what you want. And that's what the utility companies do. We were exposed to radiation. I've been exposed to so much radiation in the power plants because every one of them while they're running puts off radiation in almost every part of that unit. On top of the boiler, the plenum, the precipitator, the baghouse, the clinker grinder, the air heaters. Every one of them areas in a power plant while they're running AQC, aqua filtering system with electricity and water. Okay, every bit of that stuff, all those areas are radioactive when it's running. And we worked in them places for years and was exposed to that shit. And a lot of us are dying of mental, we are coming up with mental illness. We're coming up with cancer, coming up with tumors, leukemia. Liver cancer is what's getting a lot of us. Brain tumors are being, a lot of us have gotten brain tumors. Lung cancer, okay, lung cancer from breathing the toxins. Pancreatic cancer, stomach cancer. I've had carcinoma, 3 tumors removed, and then a cancerous tumor out of my colon. And I've got some questionable spots on my face and neck again that they're going to look at, and on my arms that could be a cancer, and that could be caused from that shit. But I'm just one of many, and if you're interested in how to find more information, I still have contacts in the Carpenters Union, and there would be ways to get records about, I can prove that I work there by my work records. So that shows I'm not lying. I'm an eyewitness, and I was union steward on many, many, many jobs because I was highly respected and trusted because I didn't bend the safety rules for nobody. And I made sure the contract was fulfilled. Therefore, the contractors, Power Light, and everybody and the work crew trusted me and respected me. And I made sure shit went right. And I didn't put up with stuff that wasn't right. And the information I've got could get me in a lot of hot water. But I'm retired now, disabled, so I ain't going to lose a job. But it could cause a few people to probably call me up and tell me they'd like to break me in half. But I ain't too concerned about that either. But it's risky business when you're bucking against the government and big corporations like utility companies, big pharma, and stuff like that. And yeah, some people actually get killed for bucking against them. It's happened. I ain't too worried about getting killed. I'm dying anyway. But there's something I can do to help Henry County, help you, help the people. That's a good thing. And if it got me in compensation, it'd be a bonus. So that's pretty much all I can say.
Okay, David. Well, thank you for calling in. Mark, do you have any questions?
No, just appreciate him
Okay.
letting us know.
Yep. Thank you very much for calling.
You go ahead and pursue what you can as far as getting testing and samples and stuff like that, because the people around that area and stuff, and you got a legitimate concern. Go down to Mont or Deepwater and check their water out. Check their water out in Deepwater Creek specifically. See what you come up with, and see if you can get some bottom samples out of the bottom of the creek, and that'll tell you what's washing out and laying in the bottom. That's a pretty easy way to tell which channel of the lake has got the poison coming down it. Get a bottom sample of what's in the bottom of the creek bottom, and you can follow that all the way to Montrose Lake.
Okay,
All right, I'll see you later.
all right, thank you. Mom. Okay,
Yeah, my understanding is they actually are getting samples
I wonder
from
if they've ever
Deepwater
done
Creek.
that.
That was one of the ones they
Have
just
they ever
did.
done that?
What's-
Even when Peabody Days was here, I wonder. Yeah, was there any soil samples ever taken? Cause I do remember, just like they're rusting out everything. I know, I used to go down and have to change cars with, Goodyear. And it was,
It wouldn't surprise, I mean, it
But
wouldn't
that doesn't
surprise
surprise
me if some of this is
but
from-
some of that, and I understand everything, but I don't know. Okay, do we have anything else today?
I'll make a motion.
To adjourn?
Yes.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried, closed.